And we are live. So welcome to Saturday Night RC Live. Hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday. So yeah, welcome. I decided to start a little early tonight. Most likely I've had a really long day, but the show must continue. Even though I really had a long day, I'm here to entertain you guys for a bit and shoot the breeze. So yeah, once again, hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday nights. And of course, just like every Saturday night, I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple shout outs. And my first shout out of the night is Untitled RC. Now, this guy, I gotta say, man, first and foremost, this guy has talent. Most of the vehicles that he has, pretty much he builds them, he modifies them. He does really cool stuff, with his RC. So if you guys haven't heard of Untitled RC, I highly suggest you to go to his channel and check it out. Trust me, it will not disappoint you. So yeah, Untitled RC. And my final shout out of the night, it's gonna be for Froggie's RC and more. And speaking of the devil, there he is. Hey, good evening. How's it going? So yeah, I'm basically giving you a shout out, my friend. And those of you that are curious who I'm shouting out, that's the person that you see highlighted on your screen. It is Froggies RC and more. Now, my friend Brett, he's really good with building. He's got awesome drifters. He's really into the drifting scene, and of course, he has other RCs as well, such as I know he's building a semi truck, if I'm not mistaken, and also he's barely building a another kit. I haven't had time, to actually check out what it actually is, but I am truly aware that he's building something. So yeah, so there you go. Go ahead and check out Froggies RC and more. So yeah, we have 4 people watching. It is 7:40 p.m. Mountain time, and also, I do get many questions on, hey, so when does the show start, or what time zone are you in? Basically, I am Mountain time. Okay. I know somewhere in the United States, you may be Central, you may be West, you may be East. Yeah, just go ahead and enter your browser, go to Google, and just pretty much say what time is it in the Mountain time zone. And that will pretty much give you an idea, what time do I start. So I try to start Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Mountain time. And of course, a day like today, I just decided to start a little earlier. Why? Well, I mean, I had a long day, man. I just wanna talk to you guys for a bit, and after this, yeah, trust me, I'm just gonna lay down and yeah, just relax. So, but yeah, I mean, in the meantime, I really want to talk to you guys. I just want to hang out with you guys and talk about RC, right? So, so yeah. So of course, Saturday Night RC Live starts every Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So yeah, don't miss it. And also, if you guys don't want to, miss the lives, I would suggest to go into the bell, next to the subscribe button, and hit all notifications. So therefore, when I go live, you will actually get the notification that I'm live. Okay, so yeah. Capture today says, hi, Scorcher, yeah? No, incorrect. This is a Kyosho Super Baja Beetle. Is it Super? Baja Beetle, sorry. This is a vehicle by Kyosho. The Scorcher is Tamiya, Tomato. But yeah, this is a vehicle by Kyosho. Okay, as you can see, you know. So you're probably wondering why I'm showcasing this vehicle tonight. Reason is because in 2014, this is by far the first kit I've ever built. Okay, in 2014, actually, I built this from scratch. You know, and I pretty much build it, and till this day, you know, I still have it. So this is by far my first Kyosho kit that I've ever built. And I gotta say, man, this was a fun vehicle to build. If you guys ever want to build something, or if you guys want to, you know, experience an RC build kit, this is one of the vehicles that I highly recommend. You know, the manual is very thorough. You know, it's really basic. You know, it's easy to understand, and it assembles very well. So I did have no issues whatsoever, you know, building this vehicle. So another reason why, you know, I'm showcasing this tonight. Um, this is pretty much a vehicle that I decided to do, you know, for my birthday. Okay. And also my birthday is coming. Actually, it should be, you know, within the next week. So yeah, I mean, and I did decide, you know, to pick something up back in, you know, 2014, 2015, around there. I remember the exact year, but yeah, so this is what I picked up, and so far, man, this thing is awesome. You know, this vehicle is amazing. So we have Poor Boys RC in the house. Says, hey everyone, happy Saturday. Hey man, welcome. You know, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you having a great weekend. And Capture Today says, thank you, very nice. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you. So yeah, if you guys curious, you know, if you guys ever want to build something, you know, this is a vehicle that I really highly recommend. Even the components, okay, they don't have to be, you know, really fancy. I did go fancy on this. Actually, you'll see. This bad boy has a Tekin censored mortar on here. Let me see. I don't remember the what turn is this? If I'm not mistaken, this is like in the 4,000 kV range, around there. Probably like a 10.3 or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a high RPM, well, high kV mortar. You know, and also the ESC is also Tekin. You know, I did go censored on this, and oh man, this thing is a bullet. I gotta say, you know. For the steering, let's see. And as you can see, like, you can't even see the tires. You know, they're pretty much beat up. You know, I did basically use this thing. I did bash this thing, and I gotta say, man, you know, this thing performs really well. Okay. And also, you know, even the suspension, the way it's set up, um, you know, I think this is kind of like a more like a cantilever kind of deal. But even at that, man, you know, it performs so well. So the servo that I have in here is a Savox Black Edition servo. You know, it is a high torque servo, and I know that it's too much, you know, for this vehicle. But you know, as soon as you move that wheel on the remote, it just it responds so quickly. So yeah, this thing is totally overpowered. Now, you may probably you're probably even thinking like, come on, Gabriel, well, 4,000 kV. You know, are you serious? You know where I got the idea? When I was actually building this, coincidentally, the RC network. I'm sure you guys, most of you guys, are familiar with that channel. Um, the RC network actually, he was building one at the time as well, and he actually overpowered his, and he actually took it to a like a diamond plate area, you know, where they people play baseball, and oh man, that thing just did amazing. So when he ran his, I was actually in the process of building this one. Okay, so that's where I got the idea. So I'm like, huh, like if this guy overpowered his, so does that mean that this thing does sustain the power? And trust me, many years later, I can still confirm that this vehicle, even though it's overpowered, this thing does amazing. With that with this setup that I have it with. So yeah, so the RC network, and I'm sure if he sees this, someday. I mean, I have thanked them before, but I did thank them personally, saying thanks for the to the walk through the walkthrough of this build, and the for the advice of of putting the electronics onto this platform. So yeah. RC Recreation says, "Hey bro, hey everybody, sorry I'm late." No, no one's late. Actually, in the contrary, I'm actually early. Okay, it's 7:49 my time. I'm supposed to start at 8, but I decided to shoot the bull much earlier. I was telling the rest of the audience, if you're here since the beginning, I just had a long day, man. I just want to talk to you guys, and once I'm done here, I just want to lay down and relax, man, for the rest of the evening. So Capture Today says, "Wow, rip." Yeah, it definitely does, man. Definitely does. I mean, so AC Froggies RC and more says, "I do like the suspension on those. Just looks cool." Yeah, man. Actually, this thing is very plush. So, and it's really cool that the way it performs, especially in high speeds, you'll be amazed. This thing can go pretty fast. You know, so yeah. AC Froggies RC and more says it still has a thread on the tire, so it's not driven enough. Actually, it's driven enough, plenty, man. Uh, you can actually see based on you know the wear on the steer tires. Okay, and you can even see also on the rear tires, and yeah, they're starting to wear out. And actually, even on the lettering, as you can see, this thing has seen better days. But yeah, this thing is amazing right out of the box. Well, right out of the box when you build it and you assemble it, then RC Recreation says SoFlo just posted a video recently of his way overpowered Bandit 2-wheel drive. Total a set of wheels. It was pretty awesome. Hey, definitely have to see that. Haven't been active on YouTube lately. I know I posted a video yesterday, but I actually filmed that days before I uploaded. But definitely I have plenty of catching to watch videos. I really need to watch some videos. So I'll definitely check that out. Capture Today says that suspension travel has got to be nice to watch. Oh yeah, man, definitely. Actually, in my channel, you can actually check out a few videos of this running, and actually, I kind of did like a slow-mo video kind of deal. Um, but yeah, it does really well. So, and then we have Barbecue Altered RC says Gabe and everyone, hello. Also, just so you know, the person that I was talking about, shout out. So this is another person, my friend, Barbecue Altered RC. this was the person that I said that, he's got really, really awesome ideas, great innovation, as far as building, assembling vehicles. So yeah, this is the guy I was talking about earlier. And yeah, so those of you guys that are watching, if you guys are interested, Barbecue Altered RC, there he is on your screen. If you want to go ahead and check him out on YouTube, I highly suggest you to do so. So there he is. And of course, just want to give a quick reminder. My shoutouts of the night was Barbecue Altered RC and AC Froggie's RC and more. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. So let's see here. RC Recreation says they're pretty worn for fronts on a two-wheel drive. Consider probably spent little time actually on the ground. Yeah, and see the thing is, I run this technically on dirt, asphalt, you name it, and just little by little, man. Like, I mean, the camber, toe, everything is okay, and yeah, that's just the type of wear that we got, just from use. Runtime on this, oh man, it's a handful. I mean, really, I can't even say, it's been more than 10 times, that's for sure. So, but yeah, this is definitely a fun vehicle, so. Noeys FastRC says, hey fellas, what's up? Hey man, good evening. Welcome to the show. You guys, hopefully you're having a great Saturday or a weekend. You're having a great weekend. So yeah. So yeah, so technically, this is the Kyosho Super Beetle. If I'm not mistaken, that's what Kyosho named this. So it's technically it's a Kyosho Beetle off-road racer from Kyosho. So if you guys are curious to see, this vehicle is not ready to run. This vehicle is a kit. What that means is, you gotta build it yourself. This vehicle is in a million pieces. And all you gotta do is just follow the manual step by step on how to build this. And yeah, next thing you know, once you're done with all the steps, you'll have a completed RC. So yeah. Also, I would want to point out this vehicle also shares the same chassis with the Kyosho Scorpion. If you guys are not that familiar, from the Beetle and the Scorpion, the chassis is the same. Okay, and as you can see, it's got a. Hopefully my camera's catching that. Let's see, there you go. So yeah, so the chassis is metal, and then the that's the battery tray. The bottom load battery tray. But yeah, this thing is the same thing as the Kyosho Scorpion. Now the Turbo Scorpion, which I also do own as well, the Turbo Scorpion, even though it shares the same chassis, it's not the same. Okay, that chassis is actually even a bit wider. Even the the rails, I think they're even probably longer. But that's a whole different different type of vehicle. So yeah, so the Kyosho Scorpion and then the Kyosho Tomahawk and this actually share the same chassis. But when it comes to that Turbo Scorpion, there are differences. So let me see here. We have Kurt RC in the house. Hey man, good evening. Barbecue Alter RC says, I like the Scorcher. I like it, Gabe. Hey man, yeah. So the Tamiya Sand Scorcher and this, I gotta say, man, even though they're both Beetles, I do own the Kyosho fighting buggy. If you guys are not familiar with that fighting buggy, that vehicle also shares the same chassis, with the Sand Scorcher. Also, it's very easy to build, very basic. But if you compare it to this, man, I think personally, this thing outperforms it. If I would have to, decide, which one's better, the Sand Scorcher or this. If you want performance, you go to this. If you want more like a scale realism kind of deal, that's when you look at that Tamiya Sand Scorcher. And of course, the reason why I'm comparing both is, since I also own the Tamiya fighting buggy, they do share the same chassis. It's technically the same thing. So, and everybody's saying hi. And then we have Earl RC in the house. Hey, man, good evening. Welcome, welcome. So let's see here. Hopefully I don't get back up on chat again. AC Froggies RC and more says, wish the manual for the D5 was easy to follow as my semi kits or the Kyoshos. I hear you, man. There are some companies out there that the manuals are like, say what? you know? So, and we have Nobody No One. Hey, man, welcome. Good evening. He says, I need to get a Tomahawk. Yeah, man. Actually, that vehicle is very, very beautiful. And if you ask me, like, would you ever own one? I mean, I'll tell you this, since I already own this, it's not necessary for me to own the Scorpion or the Tomahawk, but if the opportunity ever comes, I don't mind, But right now with me, I'm just very happy, with this vehicle. But yeah, man, you never know what your next project may be. So if I ever have the opportunity to build a Tomahawk, hey man, I already have experience, assembling, this one, and then also the Turbo Scorpion, which, like I said, even though they kind of look the same, there are differences on that. So, yeah, let's see here. Bobby Cute Altar C says, Kyosho, good. I own a phaser, Inferno chassis, plus RC Surfer 3. Oh, hey. So you're in that Surfer vehicle. That's right. Oh, cool. So how do you like it? Is it impressive? Is it a must-have? Let us know. AZ Froggies RC and more says, don't own any Kyoshos. Dot dot dot. Yet. Dot dot dot. And I gotta say, man, me being a Kyosho owner, oh man, Kyosho, it's amazing. There are pros and cons though. Okay. Mostly the cons is, you basically have to go online and actually go to their website, to order extra parts or just, parts that break. But the availability of those parts, sometimes they're out of stock, sometimes you can get them, sometimes you don't. So yeah, that's the only downfall. But on the bright side, these things are tanks, man. Actually, from all the Kyosho vehicles that I've owned, and one of them is the Kyosho Outlaw Rampage Pro Kit. And actually, I guess I don't know if you want to call that negligence, or I don't know, but I technically did run that truck a lot on sand, and sand got into the transmission gears. So yeah, I went online, and even at the time that I picked up the truck, the Kyosho Outlaw Rampage Pro Kit, it was basically still new in the market. And it was pretty tough for me to actually get those gears. So I had to go to eBay, and pretty much those gears came from another country, which was Japan. So yeah, that was a major downfall. Now the downtime that I had on that truck was probably maybe 2 weeks. When I got that part, I made a step-by-step video on how to replace the inner gears and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just 2 weeks downtime, really. So it was pretty easy to assemble. And even that, man, they're so easy to work on. They're very basic, simple. And the parts themselves, uh, they're inexpensive. And when you find them, it's like you struck gold. So Noeys FastRC says, would you consider that kit a beginner's kit, or is it for the more advanced? Good question, man. If I analyze this is actually, yeah, I can actually say that, you know, this could be a beginner's kit. And also, I did mention that this was my first Kyosho kit that I've ever built. Okay. At first, I was, you know, pretty nervous that I said to myself, well, if I don't assemble this right, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But no, I mean, the instructions, they were so simple. Uh, you know, they were so detailed. I had no issues putting this, you know, this vehicle together. So if you're asking if this is, you know, beginner's kit, and if you never built something before, and if you're considering building, you know, this particular kit, like I said, you know, this is the same platform of this will be the Tomahawk, the Beetle, and Scorpion. If you decide to build one of those three, oh man, yeah, man, you will definitely have a blast. So yeah, man, I will say this again, you know, if you're a beginner, you want to build something, yeah, this vehicle that you see in front of you, I would highly recommend, you know, you building it. So let's see here. Earl RC says, I need to get me a Kyosho. The only Kyosho item I own is a Kyosho transmitter from the Outlaw. Oh, transmitter from an Outlaw. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, man. You know, and it will be pretty cool if you can, you know, bind it to a Kyosho vehicle. So, yeah, man. You know, these vehicles do not disappoint. Kurt RC says, I have a Kyosho MK2 Phaser Mercedes. It's a nice platform, but you are right. Parts are hard to get. Yeah, man. You know, there's good days, there's bad days. Look, and I'll tell you this: I only been to their website. I haven't had the opportunity to actually give a call. Maybe, you know, see there's an ETA or parts availability, right? Um, but you know, I guess even a phone call, you know, it can actually help you out if you need parts. So Barbecue Altar C says, oh, in regards of the what is it, jet ski, right? Says, I like it. Way upgraded that new wave hopper or jumper 2.0 looks by Kyosho should be jet instead of prop though. Oh, I see. So it's still prop. Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's a really fancy RC, man. Pretty unique. I'll tell you that. And then we have Kevin Gibbs in the house. Says, good evening, Gabe. Hey, good evening to you, man. Hopefully you're having a great Saturday night. And welcome to the show. AC Froggies RC and more says, that's my issue. No shops even sell any Kyosho kits or RTRs. Would have to be online event. Yeah, man, and most likely that's your best bet. Online is technically, if you still want to use your Kyosho vehicles, that's where you need to go. Even here in town, man, you know, it's hard to find Kyosho parts, and mostly because I guess, you know, they're so hard to stock, I guess. But yeah, I mean, my best bet is just going online and, you know, and look for the parts. So, and then Capture Today says, thank you so much for the hang and info. Hope you enjoy. Good evening. Good night, all. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by. You know, and thanks for the support. Am I super far behind on chat? Let's see here. RC Recreations asking, speaking of Kyosho Rampage, my first Nitro was a two-wheel drive buggy Rampage, like 25 to 30 years ago. Yeah. Before the Rampage was a totally different truck. And I know it did come, you know, Nitro, and it was a totally different vehicle. So I wonder if the people that have that truck, you know, when they saw the name, they kind of felt maybe clickbait it. They were like, hey, well, I mean, I have the original Rampage, or, you know, something, you know, or just like Arma. Okay, Arma, you know, when they first started, they did have a Arma Mojave, Okay, and that Arma Mojave, it was basically a simple two-wheel drive truck. And I think it did come brushless. It was brushless, but it was really really basic. Now looking at a Mojave today is totally different, you know. So, and I'll tell you this, when I was actually looking for some upgraded parts, I was just curious to see what was out there, and I did put, Arma Mojave, and I was actually getting, parts from that older truck that I was telling you guys, and it was like, huh, weird. So I'm sure since the Kyosho Rampage um, is the name of an older, much older vehicle, I don't know if people might still get confused or whatnot, but still, the more modern Rampage, you can actually tell the difference, right? So let's see here. Oh boy, I'm way behind. So Earl RC, he was actually saying that the only thing of Kyosho that he owns is a Kyosho transmitter. He says it is actually already bound to my Arma Granite. Cool, man, cool. But hey, you definitely, and here tonight, if I may say, tonight, if you don't own a Kyosho, um, I would consider it. You guys are in the market for an RC. Um, I would definitely consider, a Kyosho vehicle. And whichever taste you like, Kyosho does offer, um, you know, many many great platforms, and I'm sure it will not disappoint. So Kevin Gibbs says, I've been watching a lot of Mr. Matt's boat bids. I had no idea how friggin' fast they are. Yeah, man, and I mean, technically, I do live in the desert, and of course, the boat scene is not really, really big deal here. But yeah, man, I've seen some boats on YouTube that they scream, you know. So no one says Tower Hobbies has payment plans and they ship right away. And he's right. Tower Hobbies, they do carry Kyosho, they do carry Kamaya, they do carry many many variety of brands. So yeah, also if you're looking for parts, yeah, Tower Hobbies would also be a great site, to look for these types of vehicles. So yeah, no one, yeah, he's definitely correct. Then we have Island RC Duke in the house. Hey man, good evening. Welcome, welcome. AC Froggies RC and more says if I still lived in FL, probably Florida, I would probably have a boat or two. Yeah, who wouldn't, man? Even if I would live in Florida, are you kidding me? I definitely. So let's see. Noeys FastRC says, have you ever wondered why Kyosho does not make kits from their scale muscle cars like the C28? Well, technically, I'll tell you this, man. Since that chassis doesn't really change, the only thing that changes is just the body. I guess Kyosho just makes it a lot easier just for you to just purchase it, and since obviously that chassis it's used a lot. And I know it's the C28. I know they Kyosho also made the El Camino, um, which are all the Cheval, um, the Charger. Um, it, the thing is, it's basically the same chassis. And I'll tell you this, and I own one myself. The Phaser 2.0. I do own the Kyosho Madvan, and even that chassis, man, it's still the same thing as as an on road. All it is just they put a longer arms and bigger wheels, and next thing you know, it's a freaking monster truck Madvan, and that thing is a blast to build. So what I'm trying to say is, since Kyosho, I guess they make them, by a bunch. I guess it's easier for them just to sell them as a whole instead of a kit. And I guess it would just be a lot easier, for the consumer to say, "Oh, what's already built?" So here it is. But I do get your point. I mean, I wouldn't mind also, building a phaser, from scratch, right? And just pretty much, put in your own body and just paint it however you like. But hey, well, I guess that would be a great idea for Kyosho. RLRC says the Mojave was 4-wheel drive. It was the original Senton. Their 2-wheel drive was called the Arma Fury. Oh, so it was okay. I thought it was 2-wheel drive. I'm sorry. I did see, the older Mojave, but I saw it briefly. And I don't know. Maybe I saw, the Fury. I mean, I don't know. But I did see that something was 2-wheel drive. So no one says I wish they'd made a 1/8 scale C28. Definitely, man. Kevin Gibbs says thanks building a Rampage, isn't he? Well, he's already done. Actually, I think yesterday he even premiered that running video on his channel, and days before that he actually made I think it was like a 30-minute video of just the whole build series, when he was building the entire thing. And he really did a really, really good job. He actually also took you step by step on how to build the Kyosho a la Rampage Pro Kit. And I gotta say, man, also Netcruiser RC, John from Netcruiser RC, John bought the ready to run. He actually got the gold version, gold color, and Tank actually got the Pro Kit. And they win at it. They went head to head, and yeah, so technically he's having a blast with it. So let's see here. Then we have Fern Soul in the house. Hey man, good evening. I don't know if I'm actually. Oh boy, I'm so far behind. Jesus. And then Barbecue Altar RC says boats are fun as fudge, as chocolate fudge. No one says 69 mainly, but the other years will be cool too. Oh, he's referring about the Camaros. AC Froggies RC and more says, man, don't remind me that they take payments. My wife would not be happy with me at all. Well, it's payments, man. That will definitely not ruin, your wallet. And then Bobby RC says he's actually answering, I says, yes, Kevin, his Rampage build. Paint looks nice. Gabe's paint looked good too, though. Yeah, so the way I build, not build, the way I painted my Kyosho Rampage Pro Kit, I painted it a dark purple, and then Tank, I think he used blue, orange, but the main colors is like a metallic black, silver. Oh man, and it does look really, really nice. Oh, I'm seeing, look at this. Okay, I didn't know this. AZ Froggies RC and more says there are actually a couple different lengths chassis. The Chevelle is longer than the Camaro. Interesting. I didn't know that. Now, here's a kicker. Here's a question. Why? And look, in terms of realism, I would actually see a longer chassis on the Charger, since that car is super long, than a Camaro. You know what I mean? So you think they did that based on scale or performance? Now that's a good question. Barbecue Altar C says my dream car, another 78 Monte Carlo. Oh man, yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. Jesus. Am I far behind or what? And my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm I do get carried away with the conversation here, and apparently I am far behind. It's not that I'm not reading your comments. But you know, it's I'm so far behind, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, oh wow. So look, even Barbecue Altar RC says, I know Snap-on Fortec longer than the stock Fortec and tracks it. So, huh? I wonder why they do that. And then AC Froggies RC and more says tank went over them, different size to be better scale look. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I was thinking too. And of course, you know, tank does really go into he does really go into detail, you know, when it comes to all that. So then AC Froggies also is mentioning that the Charger's right around the same size as the Chevelle. Yeah, okay. So let's see here. RC Recreation says a lot of the old Chargers length is behind the rear wheels too. Don't forget. And look, and the way I see those vehicles, you know, that they're pretty long. So if you actually put them into an RC, I would understand why Kyosho actually made that chassis longer. You know, I guess for more scaleism. I mean, I don't know, but of course, you know, AC Froggies RC and more pretty much confirmed that, you know, that's basically why. You know. Fern Solo says, "Hey Gabriel, when are you going to show your face?" Actually, I've had, and mostly, well, one of the times that I showed my face, it was pretty much my own fault. I was actually moving the settings while I was offline in Tank's live. We were actually offline at the time, and the Tank RC took a picture of me. Can you believe that? And I showed my face even before I started one of my lives. When I, you know, decided to make it official, I was just, you know, trying to dial in all of the all the perks, you know, all of the stuff that I needed to know. And since YouTube was actually kicking me out a lot often, um, I just decided to go live and not, you know, switch the camera. And I did show my face. But if you guys ever want to see me personally, I mean, of course, you know, I'm not gonna hide. I mean, I definitely have nothing to hide. The reason why I don't show my face on my channel is because the RCs are the show. Okay, you know, the RCs are the ones that are telling the story. The RCs is basically what this channel is about. Okay, does RC Basher Boy, does this channel have a character? So far, it's just my voice. Okay, if I ever decide, you know, to actually start coming out of the, you know, in my videos, you know, that would just be out of my own discretion, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the way I see it, man, you know, the the vehicles, the RC vehicles that I have, that I own, you know, basically those are the, you know, the man of the hour. Those are part of the show, you know. So, and of course, we have RLRC. Flip your camera around right now, and as you can see, you know, like AC Froggies RC and more. I'm sure actually he's already seen me. Um, but yeah, you know. So, and of course, you know, if you guys want to see me in person, I do live in West Texas. Okay, and actually, I do mention my local hobby shop a lot, which is Star City Hobbies. Um, honestly, you know, I not that I'm gonna say that I live there, but I frequently go there, you know, to you know, just to hang around, shoot the breeze, you know, even in my lunch hour, you know, I go there. If I'm looking for parts, if I'm actually curious on stuff, you know, and RCs, and if you ever in West Texas, if you happen to see me there, hey, that's another way to figure out who I am. So, and see, and there you go. Look, see, Bobby Cute Altar RC says, "We rather see your bet than your face." Good. See what I mean? See, this is the audience talking, and I totally support that. Yeah, I'm for that. You know. So let's see here. Earl RC says, "I think my dream car. We're talking classics. Only a '68 Plymouth. Oh, the Plymouth Barracuda. Actually, I like the '72 Barracuda. Oh man, if I would own a American muscle, that's the car. But yeah, Barracuda, that's pretty cool. You know. Barbecue Altersi says it's your voice and a spare bet spread. Yeah, but look, it's entertaining, right? You know, it's pretty much. I've been told that is RC Basher Boy an RC? Technically, I am. You know, it's like you're watching, at home, and technically, yes, my Kyosho is actually telling you the story. You know, so and look, right now, right now I have messy hair. You know, I actually haven't even trimmed my beard, but yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, man. If I find that I have to, you know, uh, introduce myself on camera, I don't mind, But initially, even when I started my channel, I even said, you know what, there's no need for me to actually appear on camera because, of course, it's the RCs that tell the story, not me. If I ever, I guess just because I owe it to you guys, if I ever come on camera, it's because I guess it's a well deserved, kind of event that I would just have to personally just step out and just say, hey, well, here I am. So, yeah. AC Froggies RC and more says you are a character. So let's see here. And yeah, see, Bobby Alter Suzar, we don't care. There you go. That's the spirit. Noeys FastRC says, hey, RC Basher Boy, how did you like the Axial SCX-10-3 Gladiator? I'm thinking of getting one myself. I'll tell you this, man. If you don't own the Axial SCX-10-3, I know that's pretty much a brand new platform. I do own, the first gen, which I mean, I do have the first SCX-10 Honcho. If I would have to compare the SCX-10-3, with the first gen, I gotta say, man, the SCX-10-3 is a whole different platform. Out of the box is way much more capable. It's, and I'll tell you this, I'm even surprised that it even came with a metal servo horn. That thing comes with a metal servo horn. Okay, if you ever purchased an SCX-10, the first gen, I remember even this, even the links were plastic for crying out loud. The servo wasn't that great. It did come with a tactic remote. Um, but yeah, man, the SCX-10-3 compared to the new one, to the old, sorry, to the old one, no, man, actually, Axio has really, really stepped up their game. And yeah, and look, I did try to put it on a course where and look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I really did want for that thing to struggle, and it didn't. And if you saw my latest video, the those rocks that the Gladiator was going through, my actual rate, even at that, man, sometimes it takes a while for the rate to actually conquer that entire rock section. And oh man, the Gladiator just like butter, man. It just pretty much took it just like nothing. Okay, so that was pretty wicked. Um, but yeah, man, if you are in the market for a crawler, the Axio SCX-10-3, man, I'll tell you this, and I know I've said this before. Yeah, I know it's a Jeep, but I'm even actually giving the proper respect, that it deserves, because it it really wowed me. It was so, um, what's the word I'm looking for? It left me speechless, really. So yeah, if you guys in the market for the Axio SCX-10-3, I know there's the regular Jeep Rubicon and then the Gladiator. The Gladiator, I do have in mind that it has a longer wheelbase. I haven't used a regular SCX-10-3, but I can just tell you this, man. It for performance, that thing does really, really well. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that answers your question. And Kevin Gibbs, look at that, says they are impressive. Received mine today. Now let me give you guys a quick recap on with Mr. Kevin Gibbs. So Mr. Kevin Gibbs, he ordered his Gladiator, his Axial SCX-10-3 online. I think he ordered it through Horizon Hobby, and so when he ordered it, it was shipped to him, and turns out that when he saw his tracking number, turns out that the I don't know which carrier it was, but the carrier left it at some other house. Okay, so technically, the shipping carrier delivered it at the wrong house. So Mr. Kevin Gibbs and even myself, man, when he actually told us the story that his Axio SCX-10-3 Jeep Gladiator was misplaced, oh man, that actually even devastated me. So he did contact Horizon Hobby, and Horizon Hobby was kind enough to send him another one. How great is that, right? Hey, high five to Horizon Hobby, man. Good job for customer service. And so yeah, and now he's saying that it is impressive, and he actually got it today. So of course, I'm sure he's really, really into it, and he's enjoying his rig. But yeah, and even myself, I do own one myself, and oh man, those things are super awesome. So Noeys FastRC says, I recently bought the Axial 1.9 Wraith, and I was blown away with the articulation, the suspension. I did see that, man. Actually, you did a video of you unboxing it, right? If I'm not mistaken. I bet, man. But I'll tell you this. So the Wraith, it's kind of tough for me. Now, this is just my own opinion, okay? It is tough for me to see a Wraith with 1.9 tires. When the Wraith came out, I'll tell you this, when the Wraith came out, I wasn't a fan of it. It was just one of those things like, oh, okay, well, it's just a competition rig, a rock racer. But I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I was very used to seeing those things with 2.2 tires. Now, when it comes to competitions, if you had an Axial Wraith, if you wanted to compete the class, where the SCX-10s would go, you would have to reduce your tire size to a 1.9 in order for you to compete with them. And I don't know, even the I mean, I know there's a lot more, to that, and I know even the axle, the axle length. Also, take into consideration that even those axles are much longer. But yeah, and now that Axial decided to put 1.9s on the Wraith, I'm pretty sure that it handles a lot better. And also, they did that, in order for you to compete, with other vehicles. So yeah, man, and I did see your video. I don't know if I did comment or not, but I remember I did see that video. Kevin Gibbs says, Wraith is a Ricket platform. Yes, and I do agree on that. So let's see. Kevin Gibbs says Horizon definitely helped, took over the claim. You see, so pretty much let's give a round of applause to Horizon Hobby tonight because actually they did step up, and that if I was Kevin Gibbs, if I was in his shoes, I would have been truly satisfied, with that purchase order. I mean, I wouldn't have nothing bad to say, with that. The only thing I've only rented to Horizon Hobby was those Spectrum STX2s. Yeah, you're probably everybody's saying like, "Oh my God, there he goes." So yeah, if you guys don't know the Spectrum STX2s, you should know that I'm not a huge fan of those remotes, and I did rent to Horizon Hobby, about those remotes, and pretty much I kind of even told Horizon Hobby, where to even shove them. That's how bad it got. So actually, you're not seeing those around that much, so I guess Horizon Hobby does listen. Fern Solo says, so Kevin, if you see one of your neighbor's kid with a new Gladiator, you know what happened. And yeah, man, I'll tell you this, man. If you even crack down who got it, hey, man, you can even claim that it's yours because I mean, it should be technically it's yours, right? So, seeing Noeys FastRC is also agreeing with me. Well, that is great for Horizon Hobby to take care of their customers. Yeah, man, hands down to that. Hands down to that. So, yeah, and there you go. See, I'm getting some feedback here with the STX2s. There you go. So, let's see here. RC Recreation says, "Is that what it came with my V4 Kraden? Cause yeah, it's and I'll tell you this, man. So it also came with my Arma Mojave, and oh boy, it pissed me off because it's like you spend so much on an RC vehicle that Horizon Hobby threw you that remote, and also even if you check out my video of the Arma Mojave, I decided to go to town with that freaking remote, and I bashed the truck along with the freaking remote. I did bind it to my higher end remote, which was my DX6R. And yeah, I just pretty much I crashed the freaking remote. I banged it, I dropped it, yeah, So, but I'm very glad that Horizon Hobby is not using those remotes. I haven't seen those remotes around. I do see the new Spectrum, a real DSM remotes, which is pretty cool. But yeah, those STX2s, oh man. But anyway, then First Solo says, guys, I have to go. Have a good night. Fern Solo, my friend, mi amigo, thanks for stopping by, man. Hopefully you are having a great Saturday night. And yeah, man, so we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by. See, and Kevin Gibbs says, I couldn't believe that. Mojave is an expensive RC. Yes, and see, that's why I decided to do that. And it's like, okay, so I pay this much for a freaking truck, and I get this type of electronics. Are you serious? Jesus. So yeah, and if you go to that video, you would actually see, and I'll and I'll tell you this, man. So I went to town with that remote. Actually, my Armo Hobby actually went head on that remote. If I would have to guess, the speed um, that the Arma Mojave had, by the time of impact, you know, uh, my guess is probably like maybe 30, 40 miles an hour. And do have in mind that the Mojave is pretty heavy. Okay. So having that in mind, can you believe once I was done, that remote is still in one piece? That is something that I don't know. It just kept me thinking like, well, I guess the case is durable. That's about it. So the engineers, whoever did the freaking plastic design on that SCX2, I gotta say, man, well, the design and the engineering was there, but oh man, uh, overall, you know where I stand with that freaking remote, and we'll leave it at that. I don't want to make this a Spectrum night, and of course, most of you guys know what I think about it. So, but yeah. So let's see here. RC Recreation says, still better than anything that comes with it ready to run Traxxas, no? Well, I'm very surprised, and I'll tell you this, I'm very surprised on how much Traxxas sell their remotes for. Last time, I don't know what I was searching. I was searching for a Traxxas part. Oh, I was actually searching for the wheelie bar on my new Rustler that I just got, and can you believe Traxxas actually sells their remotes? And it actually, yeah, and I'll show Earl's RC's message here. The Traxxas TQI is over $100. I'm like, Jesus, really? But at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, the TQI, you're able to bind many receivers, and I don't know up to how many, but you can actually bind a few of your RCs into that one remote. So that is something that is pretty neat, and I gotta say, it is neat. So a person that's like a really, really true fan of Traxxas, he would only have to use, that remote for, several of his Traxxas RCs. So that's pretty cool, you know. But yeah, I mean, even the Traxxas radio that is in the TQI, and I'll be honest with you, the only Traxxas remote that I've used is one of those what is it, like a dark silver, like it's kind of like a vintage remote, it's like a dark silver color, and then it had a huge antenna. you know that was the remotes that I would use back in the day. um and I gotta say, I mean, those were okay, but I've never used a regular Traxxas TQ or a TQI, so that I really can't say if it's good or bad, or I that's something that I just can't share with you guys, because I don't have no experience with those Traxxas remote. However, the price that Traxxas sells them for, gotta say, man, that's insane. That is truly insane. So, oh wow, Kevin Gibbs says no throttle control whatsoever with the Traxxas remote, even program. Use my radio link and it creeps. Oh wow, so look at that, man. Interesting. Already. Oh, and then we have John Martin in the house. Hey, man, good evening. And also, just so you know, John Martin, JM's RC, that you see on your screen, he did purchase the Arma Felony. And also, he did post a video of that car. And the cool thing about that is that he took it off road, man. He actually took it to his local oval track, and it's kind of like a dirt base kind of deal. It's not super sandy or anything like that, but it's kind of like a really, really um, how can I put it? He was able, to run that vehicle there, and so yeah, if you guys want to see a video of Traxxas, oh boy, an Arma Felony, go check out GM's RC, John Martin. So let's see here. Good question. Let's see. Noeys FastRC says, "Hey Basher Boy, what's your opinion on the Losi Super Baja Ray 2.0? Is it worth the upgrade?" Well, let me tell you this. When you upgrade something, you go from something to the 2.0 Baja Ray. What are we upgrading it from? And the truck, the Super Baja Ray 2.0, I'll tell you this, okay? Losi is actually going more of a scale look type of deal. Because I'm gonna be honest, and I know most of you guys are gonna probably be surprised. By the end of the day, man, this is my opinion. And of course, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. That's just the way, my opinion is. But the Losi Super Baja Ray, the first one, the first gen, personally, even though the durability was there, even though quality was there, even though it was pretty much a really, really great truck, I just didn't like the looks. It was one of those trucks that, okay, everything is there, durability, quality, everything that I mentioned, but the look, it's like, oh man, I mean, they did come in two colors, which was one was the orange and white, and then the other one was kind of like a greenish and black, something like that. Um, and honestly, I just thought, this looks too basic, you know. But the feedback that I heard, from that truck, it was just, amazing. So going now to the 2.0, um, this also even impressed me. Okay, even Losi decided to put a scale jack, on the back, just to mimic, a jack lift, just for the truck. And then they also did put, the two spare tires on the back. They also added, the lights, for scale look. But the chassis it's almost the same as the first gen. Now I can't really say what are the changes in the chassis, from the first gen and the 2.0, but bottom line, I can tell you this: the 2.0 looks a lot better, and I'm sure the quality, everything that I mentioned from the 1.0, I'm sure it's also there. So bottom line, for sure, Losi did step up their game as far as looks, as far as anything else. You know, now if you're probably asking, will I get one? My answer will be no. The reason is because that is a 1/6 scale truck. Okay, that thing is huge. Okay, the Arma Mojave, that's a 1/7 scale, and so is the Traxxas UDR. Unfortunate to say, if I ever, and trust me, it did come across my mind. I'll give you this. It did come across my mind. Could I own the Losi Super Baja Ray 2.0? I did think about it. And the first counter message that I got in my head was like, lack of space. So yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, my friend. And oh boy, I guess I'm already backed up in chat again. No one says TQI has TSM and the other bells and whistles, which makes it more expensive. That is correct, yeah. And that's another reason why, um, the Traxxas receivers are, super pricey. If you guys are not familiar what the TSM is, the TSM actually it's a perk that you can use, if you have issues, with steering the vehicle, or if you're still learning how to maintain the vehicle at a straight line. The Traxxas TSM will actually help you to corner better, to accelerate a lot better, and it's just a great aid, for a beginner, uh, a driver. Okay. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the TSM, or for example, even Spectrum. Spectrum calls it the ABC. I'm not a huge fan of those, but I do encourage, the people that are beginners, to the RC world. If you buy a freaking $400 or $500 vehicle and you are super scared of, smashing it to the wall or just breaking it in general, the AVC will actually help you, maintain that vehicle at a straight line. You will definitely have full control of the vehicle. So yeah, but good point. Nobody, no one. The TQI with TSM, yeah, man, they're over $100, because of that feature. So And see, in RC, oh boy, RC Recreation says, Gabe, thank you for the chat. Everyone have a great night or day, whatever you are. Stay healthy and safe, my RC family. Hey man, appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you are enjoying your Saturday evening here with us. And yeah, man, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. So let's see here. So and then my comment previously, because Noeys FastRC was actually saying, what I think about the Super Baja Ray CBR. That's the abbreviation. So yeah, I mean, if you own the original Super Baja Ray, and if you saw the 2.0, personally, I mean, and if you have the funds, if you have the money, if you want to own both, hey, go for it. But if you want to sell your original CBR to get the new one, I don't blame you, bro. I'm for it. So let's see here. And then we have G's Greens RC says, howdy everyone. Hey man, welcome. Good evening. How's it going? So let's see. Noeys FastRC says, actually, the V1 Super Baja Ray came 3 colors: green, red, and orange. And orange was the kit. Oh, okay. Huh. So green and red were ready to run, and then the orange was pretty much the kit. Oh boy, I didn't know that. And no one says, yeah, I remember because the orange was on sale last Black Friday. Now, what he's referring to, no one says that the orange version of the Super Baja Ray was the bind and drive. But let me tell you this, there is the Losi Baja Ray and the Super Baja Ray. The Losi Baja Ray, isn't that a 1/8 scale truck? And that one was orange and black. That was also bind and drive. I'm not sure if the Super Baja Ray also came as a bind and drive. I'm not sure. But that I do remember, the Losi Rock Ray, no, Baja Ray, I'm sorry, the Losi Baja Ray, which it's a 1/8 scale truck, that also came as a bind and drive version. Now, let me tell you this, okay? Horizon Hobby sometimes, and even back in the days too, they'll see when they would come out with a vehicle that was bind and drive, and as you can see, I even highlighted, no one's comment. What does bind and drive mean? Okay, and I'll give you a great example of what does that come into mind of a bind and drive. So if you are really, really into the hobby, okay, and if you're willing to purchase a particular vehicle, Horizon Hobby, does sell these types of RCs that are just bind and drive. Okay, what that means is if you're into the hobby a lot, like myself, I do own, actually I own like 60 RCs now, which is pretty crazy, and all of my RCs are bound to 3 of my remotes, 3 Spectrum remotes. And all I got to do is just, if the vehicle doesn't come with a Spectrum receiver, all I got to do is just purchase a receiver and I can just bind it to my high-end remote. Same thing with the bind and drive. Okay, when you would purchase a bind and drive, the vehicle does not come with a remote, assuming that those types of vehicles would go to the people that are really into the hobby, that have a Spectrum remote and they're just ready to buy. So that's what that comes into play. Um, Another reason why Horizon Hobby also makes those vehicles a bind and drive is because they actually make them uh, less expensive. Okay, so say for example, right? So a ready to run is, I'm just gonna throw you guys numbers. Okay, so ready to run is $4.99, right? And a bind and drive is at $3.49. Okay, so they actually took pretty much the cost of having a remote onto the to the vehicle. So that's what it is, you know. So yeah. So hopefully, if you guys don't know what a bind and drive, and I'm sure most of you guys know, but I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts of that. So Noeys FastRC says, "Hey Basher Boy, now that I think of it, I live a few hours from you. I've been to Star City Hobbies Art before. Great guys there. Maybe I will run into you one of these days." Interesting. So a few hours. Okay, so I'm technically in El Paso, Texas. So where are you from, buddy? And then we have a green. G's Greens RC says, sick, smothered in the flu, but I did manage to get out and paint part my workbench. Oh boy, hey man. Well, hopefully you get well pretty soon, and yeah, man. Stay stay healthy out there, man. And AC Froggie says, not fun, Grant. Hope you feel better soon. Same here, man. You know. So Kevin Gibbs says, yeah, I'm waiting to see what's coming up around Christmas time. Actually, I'm the same way as you, man. You know. And like I said, I know Losi came out with this the new 2.0 Super Bahare. I'm I am tempted. Even though I'm still saying no, but oh boy, and I don't even know why I'm saying this, but no, no, actually, no, no. You see what I'm doing here? It's temptation at its best. No, I can't get that truck. Can't, you know? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that's not that far off, man. Okay. Yeah, man. So I'll tell you this: if you ever come to El Paso, Texas, hey, man, let me know. You can go to Star City. Hopefully, see me there. Or if you want to contact me directly, I mean, I do have Instagram. It's at RC Basher Boy. And if you want to contact me directly as well, on my About tab on my channel on YouTube, I do have my personal email there. So you can also get a hold of me there. So, so yeah, man, if you ever want to, come out and bash, crawl, just here to shoot the breeze, hey, man, let me know. AC Froggies RC and More says Star City High is about 7 hours away from me. And yeah, I mean, AC Froggies RC and More, he is from Arizona. Well, technically, I know he said he lived in Florida. Well, he's currently in Arizona. And actually, yeah, we're technically about the same time, like 7 hours away. So yeah, we're not that far. So, ooh, Kevin Gibbs says, I really want that big rock. It'll be my first basher. I'll tell you this, man. So Tony from CCXRC actually got his, and the way he unboxed it, the way he reviewed it, it's actually a really really good basher. You know, so I'll tell you this, okay? The big rock, the big rock, and it's actually pretty tough to see what it can compete, out there. But thinking about it, I mean, it's 4-wheel drive. It's technically it's a freaking tank, and even the cost, man. It definitely that's an awesome first basher to have. And actually, I do agree with you on that. It'll definitely be a great first basher. So okay, sweet, sweet. So yeah, man. Whenever you're around, let me know. And then we have Beanfield Ellis Turtle in the house says, "Hey, just stopped in real quick to see what you guys were doing, but Tracy came home, so good night." Oh, hey, man, awesome. So yeah, highly appreciate the support, my friend, and I do understand. So yeah, thanks for the support, and hopefully you're having a great Saturday night. So let's see here. Nobody, no one says, "I'm trying to decide between the Typhon and the Big Rock." Ooh, boy. So, gentlemen, we can help nobody, no one, between the Typhoon and the Big Rock. So let me ask you this: the Typhoon or Typhon, um, there are two versions of it, if I'm not mistaken. There's a 3S version, and then there's a 6S version, right? If I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Big Rock, if I'm not mistaken, that's a 4S capable truck. Could it be? I'm not sure. But so the Typhon is basically a basher buggy type of deal. And the Big Rock, well, the Big Rock is a truck, you know. So definitely there are differences, between the two. Um, Now the Big Rock has bigger tires. The Typhon, I mean, you can go 2.8 on it, and I'm sure, you can upgrade it, this and that, blah blah blah. Okay, so no one says both 3S. I like the 17 millimeter hex. Yeah, that's right. There are huge hexes on that, and perfectly, I guess, because of so people go out and bash the crap out of those trucks, huh? So narrowing down the differences, the Typhon is more of a buggy type of vehicle. The Big Rock is a truck type of deal. Um, words of bashing, since the Big Rock has bigger wheels than the Typhon, maybe the Big Rock, maybe you can conquer more terrain. Maybe. I mean, this is just my opinion, but the Typhon also, I'm not saying that the wheels are bad or anything like that, but they are smaller, since it's a buggy. Um, but oh boy, I do get what you're going through, you know. So yeah, that's pretty tough, man. So let me ask you this: nobody, no one. Um, which one you're leaning against? I mean, are you going more Typhon or are you going more Big Rock? I see. So Kevin Gibbs says the Typhon faster. Are the KB mortars the same on the KBs? Uh, they both use the same chassis. That's why it's a little difficult. Oh, interesting. See, and there you go. So Noeys FastRC says I have uh, the eighth Typhon, so the Big Rock sits higher. I use my Typhon for racing, and yeah, and technically that was my way of thinking too. The Big Rock, since it does sit higher, um, the Typhon. I'm not saying that it's gonna suck. No, it's not. But the Typhon is basically a racer, and a Big Rock. Well, you basically can conquer a little bit more terrain. Since of the height. Um, how tall it sits. So yeah, and like even just like myself, Kevin Gibbs. We're both thinking about it. So he says, I like the width of the Big Rock, but also like the Typhoon's 17mm hexes. So the Big Rock doesn't have the 17mm hexes? Huh. And see, an Earl RC says, I want an eighth buggy, 1/8 buggy. So me personally, I choose a Typhoon. Yeah, and by the end of the day, man, it all depends what your taste is. If you want a buggy, Typhoon. If you want a truck, well, Big Rock. If you want it 4 doors, hey, Big Rock. The Actually, I don't even know how many doors. The Typhoon doesn't even have doors, doesn't it? So yeah, that's pretty something to think about. So yeah, so the Typhoon doesn't have doors, and the Big Rock has 4. Dilemma. Oh, okay. So there are 14 now. I'm sure, since you said that the Typhoon and the Big Rock almost, share the same chassis. I don't see why you can't upgrade, those 14 to 17. I mean, and I'm sure that wouldn't even be an expensive, you know, change, so you can do. So he's leaning towards the Big Rock, and I personally, since my area, my location, I do live in a desert area. Um, I wouldn't even mind owning a Big Rock, you know. So, ooh, good question. What about the shock setup? Which one has well, let's see. So the buggy and the truck should have more travel, maybe because it sits higher. But do they have the same shocks? I mean, is it the same articulation? Now, when you talk about bashers, I mean, you don't really talk about, articulations, but at the same time, those are one of those things that, I guess you really want to consider, since you're bashing out there, and you really want to conquer some terrain, right? So, ooh, okay. Then we have Force Time RC says, "Hey, how's it going, Basher Boy? Hey, it's going well, my friend. Just here shooting the breeze, talking about comparison between a Typhon and a Big Rock. No one, is deciding which one to get. And actually, we're trying to help them out, to make the right decision. Is it going to be the Typhon, the Arma Typhon, or the Arma Big Rock? Hmm. No one says truck has longer arms, I believe, and the Big Rock is a bit wider. And I bet, yeah, since it is a bigger vehicle, I would assume, you know. So and honestly, man, based on the way I bash, the way I do things, Kevin Gibbs, I agree with him. He says, I still want the Big Rock, and I would want the Big Rock as well, you know. But also, I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are, speed freaks, the Typhon, you can actually convert that thing into a dragster. I mean, even they do sell the body. You can put awesome wheels on there. Um, but also, you can make the Typhon another vehicle. The Big Rock, I don't know if it would actually sustain the setup. I mean, I don't know. I'm just pretty much just debating out loud, I guess. So, but yeah, I mean, no one. I would just go with a Big Rock. honestly. I mean, I really don't know what's your taste in bashing. I mean, I don't know what your surroundings are. But the bottom line is this, if you live in an area where I guess there's maybe a few racetracks around town, but then again, you can also bash, then the Typhon is, I guess would be ideal. But I mean, if you just want to look more into just the bashing session, the Big Rock would be, the one to go with. And of course, I'm just my opinion, you know. Um, but yeah, hopefully that helped you out a bit. But yeah, and then also, if you decide which one you get, let us know down below. Hey, I mean, did you get the Big Rock? Why? Or did you get the Typhon? Why? That'll be a good follow up there. So no one says. I think probably will go Big Rock because of the width. Yes, and see, and that's what I was saying. As far as going through tough terrain and stuff like that. That's where you get it. The Big Rock, I guess it's designed, to bash and to actually, go through some stuff. You know, so Force Time says, I would say Typhon, but I've also had like 4 short course trucks and 3 monster trucks. And I'll be honest with you guys, I do own a buggy, okay, but technically it's kind of not a real basher buggy. I do own a ready to run low C8E that I probably maybe used maybe a handful of times. But if you guys curious if Basher Boy owns a buggy, yes I do. But I just haven't had the courage, to bash it, to scrape it. I mean, I know it is capable, but I mean, I do like the looks of it, and I know it's wrong. Technically, it shouldn't be a shelf queen, but I did buy that, to see if I would ever go, if I would compete, to go out, to maybe a local track or something. But yeah, it just never happened. It's just one of those things that if it happens, I'm ready. I do have a Forest Lipo, just go to the track and see how well I do. Kurtz RC says, I have the Typhon and it's fun on the compact surfaces, but not as fun on the rough surfaces. See, so there you go. And of course, that's just, Kurtz RC's experience. And I can see, where he's coming from. So Earl RC says, the Big Rock is definitely still cool, but I already have a few monster trucks and I really only have one proper buggy, so that's why I'm leaning more towards the Typhon as well. So see, even Earl RC has the same dilemma. And Kevin Gibbs, in regards of the Rock Ray, no, oh boy, oh man, it's been a long night. What Kevin Gibbs is saying is the Big Rock. Okay, I've watched Tony's vid 3 times now, and it handles so well, and I couldn't agree more. Force Time RC says, but I prefer short course trucks. No, and yeah, man, but so if you guys, Force Time, if you see Nobody No One, he was actually debating between the Typhon and the Big Rock. So just help, preferably, I do like short course trucks as well. I do own the Slash. I do the low C 10 CTE. To name a few, Team Associated, SC10. But yeah, I mean, I do like short course trucks as well. So, Noeys RC says, time to hit the shower. If you're still on, I'll be back. Hey, man, have a great shower, and hopefully we'll see. I don't know. And the thing is, I've been here an hour, 34 minutes, 52 seconds. And look at me, how gritty am I? Actually, I didn't even put the invite on here. I really wish I could have had someone here so I could talk to among us, I guess. But oh man, since we're getting so close to to the end, um, yeah, well, I guess I'll keep it solo for tonight. So, but yeah, so a little recap of tonight's show. So basically, in the beginning, I did a couple shout outs. Shout outs to Barbecue Altered RC and AC Froggies RC and more. They were here on chat earlier, or I don't know if they're still here right now. But yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't heard Barbecue Altered RC or AC Froggies RC and more, I highly suggest you to go check out their channels and see what they got. They're RC related, great people, awesome content. So so yeah, and also I did talk about this Kyosho Beetle off-road racer that you see in front of you. The reason why I'm showcasing it tonight is because if I'm not mistaken, this is probably like the 6th anniversary that I've been with it. I did build it around this time in 2014 or 2015. I don't remember the year, but it's so easy to actually find out. I mean, I do have receipts and stuff like that, so just have to check out all of that. And right now, just talking RC, and no one actually talking about which one he would decide to get, which was the Typhon or the Big Rock. And so far no one's actually leaning towards the Big Rock. We also did talk about a little bit about ARMA. We talk about RC transmitters, Traxxas, Spectrum, to name a few. And also we did talk about the Losi, the Super Baja Ray, which barely came out, the 2.0. Will I ever own one? I'm not gonna say I never will, but I gotta say, man, that truck, it is gorgeous. That is it's one of those vehicles that you really, really see that Losi are stepping up, their game, especially on the design, especially on the scale side. So yeah, that's just pretty much a quick recap of what we talked about tonight. If you made it so far, this is pretty much a little recap. If you want to just go back onto the video later on tonight, basically what you're looking at. So let's see here. Earl RC says, I would love to have joined you, Gabe. I'm just too much in pain. I'm laying down. Honestly, I might not be able to do my show tomorrow if I'm still much with this pain. Hey, man, well, hopefully you get better soon, man. Hopefully, maybe you're taking an aspirin, ibuprofen, name a few. But yeah, man, if you do go live, also just so you guys know, Earl RC also goes live Sundays. Pardon my ignorance, but I don't know what time he actually goes live, but I know it's probably maybe 2 p.m. his time. Not sure, but yeah, check out Earl RC. He's also a great guy, awesome content, and yeah, good stuff. Let's see here. G Screens RC says, "Okay, everyone, I'm out. See ya when I'll see ya." Appreciate it, my friend. And he also says, but before I go, a friendly reminder: don't throw bread on the pavement, because the yeast inside the bread may cause your asphalt to rise. Hey, wise words, my friend. Wise words. Until next time, happy RCing, everyone. My friend, a big pleasure, having you here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and yeah, enjoy your rest of your Saturday evening, Saturday night, and yeah, man. So appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And we do have a question here. Kevin Gibbs says, what kind of vid you're doing next, Gabe? Good question. So I'm debating now. Well, and actually, a good thing that Kevin Gibbs asked this. So right now, my channel is pretty much going towards the crawling scene. First and foremost, yeah, I'm actually going into the crawling scene here pretty soon. I do want to showcase my HPI venture, the Toyota FJ Cruiser. I do want to showcase my TRX4 Blazer, which I'm currently upgrading. Right now, it's still, it's back in one piece, but I'm still debating whether if I'm going to continue to upgrade it a little more. But once you see that truck, it's going to be upgraded. Okay, so that truck basically came straight out of the box, maybe used it 2-3 minutes, and I just decided to upgrade right there and then. And so far, I did use it after I modified it a little bit, and that thing is just amazing. So yeah, I want to crawl with my TRX4 Blazer. Also, the Jeep Gladiator. This is another reason why I'm kind of leaning towards crawling as of right now. I'm very impressed on how that vehicle performed. So technically, I do want to do a bit of more crawling. I'm not saying permanently, right? But I'm just gonna go to that phase. And I guess as soon as I showcase my Traxxas Rustler, which I did get, a few weeks ago, and I have been using it off camera, and actually I've been bashing it like there's no tomorrow off camera. So my next video probably will be, the Traxxas Rustler, and then from there you're gonna go ahead and see a little small series of me going through some crawling sessions, with all my crawling rigs. So hopefully, you guys enjoy that content. Of course, my channel is a very, very universal channel when it comes to RCs. I do have buggies, I do have on-roads, I do have monster trucks, I do have crawlers, to name a few genres. But right now, actually, I haven't been heavily into RC crawling until now. So, and I really, really like where I'm going to with this. So yeah, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. So, and I'm gonna tell you this. I understand that in my channel you only see that one particular location. This little crawling session, this crawling series that I'm gonna do, I'm actually considering going to different locations here in town. And here in my town, there's plenty of locations that I can go to. As far as crawling goes, and I'm technically, I'm all for it. So yeah, so pretty much, and hopefully Kevin Gibbs, that answers your question. But yeah, so it's gonna be bashing video, and then crawling after that. Maybe a couple of hits. I mean, it's gonna be a handful of hits, just pure crawling, and then from there I'll just pretty much mix it up a little bit. I'll go back to bashing, or of course, if Horizon Hobby, pretty much send us a curveball at us, they release something new. Excuse me, if they release something new, I may consider see if I can get it or not. But yeah. So let's see here. LRC says, haven't had any pain meds in 4 days. Tomorrow will be 5. Oh boy. And I hear you, my friend. Hopefully you get some pain meds, man. That'll definitely make your days a lot easier. So, and Kevin Gibbs says, smooth show tonight. I gotta go. Hey man, I highly appreciate you being here, and hopefully you enjoyed your Saturday night here with us. But yeah, man, so thanks for the support, and we'll see you on the next one. So, okay. Let's see here if I missed anything here on chat. Okay, then. So we are an hour, 45 minutes, 23 seconds in. So yeah, my mark will be at probably a little bit over 2 hours. So, but yeah, I mean, we still have time. And then we have CCXRC says ending. Technically not really, but we're getting closer there. But hey, man, good evening, welcome. So CCXRC, we were actually talking about and I want to see, your input on this. There was a gentleman here who goes by the name of Nobody No One, who was actually debating between what to own, what to get. He was in between a Arma Typhon 3S or the Arma Big Rock 3S. Now, to my knowledge, and based on what he said, they do share the same platform. However, the Big Rock has longer wheelbase. I think has even wider in general, and of course, even it's taller, than the Typhon. So what's your take? Since you do own the Big Rock, I did personally also said, a Big Rock will not disappoint, because that's just putting him more into the crawling scene than a Typhon. Typhoon, you can actually go to your local racetrack and you can race it there. But so yeah. But he says so. But he really wants he tracks it. Okay, well, so I guess he was just playing with our minds tonight, huh? So, but yeah, personally, I would, and the thing is, Tony, I did see your review of the Arma Big Rock, and if I was in the market for another basher, technically I would go, to the Arma Big Rock, because you did an amazing job on reviewing that vehicle. So yeah, you know. Oh, and Nobody No One says which Traxxas? Huh. Well, and I'll ask this. Okay, so CCXRC also reviewed the Traxxas Haas. Now they're they're not quite the same thing, but they're, by the end of the day, they're both bashers. So Tony, if you had to decide between a Traxxas Haas and a Big Rock, which one would you get? See, that's a really good question. Personally, oh boy. And of course, we did see Tony's little dilemma, with the battery tray of the Traxxas Haas. And of course, I'll definitely take that into consideration, because you never know. And also, I mean, I don't use any Traxxas batteries whatsoever. So maybe my batteries will fall out. I mean, I don't know. But the Big Rock, well, I guess, yeah, I'll definitely. If I had to choose between both, yeah, it will definitely be the Big Rock. You know. So, ooh, and there it is. He says, after my last weekend run, the Big Rock, the Haas couldn't drive straight at the BMX trails. Couldn't up a jump. Oh boy. So there you go, my friend. So even that. Oh, look at that. It says something really weird with the Haas steering when TSM is off. Interesting. So now, those of you that are not familiar with TSM, so TSM is pretty much an ape Basically, it just helps, and I already went over this. TSM is just a little perk that it helps you keep the vehicle at a straight line and also helps you turn better. So, and says that it's weird when the TSM is on. So interesting, very, very interesting. And then also says I don't like big air jumps with the TSM or AVC on, and I agree. When you actually ramp a vehicle with AVC, what happens up in the air, it just goes nuts. There's no throttle input, there's no steering input, pretty much. I guess it just dies off midair, and what sits in the ground, it continues to function. So, Earl RC says it's trying to force you to use TSM. That's why it's acting weird. And then the servo is underpowered and moves all over the place. Well, that kind of sounds that the servo's going up, because I mean, if it's going all over the place, it's not going back to center. So, and typically when servos don't usually go back to zero, and with the terminology, back to center where it's supposed to be, most likely that servo is already about to burn, or one of the gears stripped inside. So that's why if you have a servo that does that, that's just my way of saying you just need a better servo. So, but then again, we're talking about the Traxxas Haas, and I'm sure most of you guys will agree that any ready to run vehicle, if you want, a good steering on a ready to run, you're actually asking for a lot. So I would definitely just upgrade the servo. CCXRC says my first video was a speed run, and I pointed out how much it wanders. That's really bad when you go get on loose dirt. I just ended early. Wasn't not having any fun. But I do like the Haas in grass and on cement. So you do like it on grass on cement, but not on loose dirt. Huh. Interesting. So what do you guys think? I mean, I know Tony owns or owned, I'm not sure, the Traxxas Haas. Anybody here also owns the Traxxas Haas? Any input on that vehicle? Actually, when I saw it, I'll tell you this, man. When I actually saw the Traxxas Haas, I wasn't that impressed, and not because of the platform. It's just the colors, man. And this is just my own opinion. Okay, I'm not saying that it's a bad product or anything like that, but to me, those colors are so generic. If Traxxas would have maybe come up with a more, I don't know, more catchy colors, I guess I would have maybe considered it. But at the same time, you know, when I saw the Haas, it was just technically just saying, just another RC, you know. So AC Froggies RC and more says I would swap tone of my MKS servos right away, but that's just me. And trust me, if you really want a vehicle to perform well, especially on the turning, yeah, I with no question, I would actually also replace the servo. So, and John Martin RC says like the felony on dirt. Yes, and once again, if you guys want to see an ARMA felony on dirt, that's the channel you need to go to right there, and it's highlighted. It's there on your screen. JMRCs. He did do a brief video of a vehicle running on asphalt, and he did take it to his local dirt track, and he went oval racing with it. So that's something you don't see every day. So yeah, go ahead and check him out. CCXRC says Racer RC, it's another channel, replaced his Haas servo right away. Yeah, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. So no one says felony rally. Yep. Yes, sir. You might want to check out James RC. Yeah, he took it to his old track. he rallied with his felon. That was pretty cool, man. So you got if you're curious to see a felony on dirt, check him out. See, there you go. He's answering right there. Yes, rally. LOL. And then we have the myth, the legend, Sean's RC Adventures. He says, "Sup, all? Hey, man, good evening. How's it going?" And also, just so you guys know, and I'll say this, okay? When you think about the impossible, I actually think of Sean. Okay, Sean actually, he has 3 crawlers bind to 1 remote, and he uses 3 crawlers at the same time. Let's analyze that really quick. 3 crawlers, 1 remote, 2 hands, 1 guy. That's Sean RC Adventures. Hey man, welcome. Good evening. And then we have RCU next Tuesday. Hey man, gentlemen, how's it going? Good evening. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody's saying hi to each other. So yeah. So yeah, we're at 1 hour 57 minutes 31 seconds in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here in just a couple more minutes. But before I go, okay, I want to ask you guys. I want to ask the audience. What's your plan for this weekend? Are you gonna go RC? What are you gonna run? Are you getting any new RCs? Comment down below. Before we wrap this up, I would want to see what you have going on, and also, it doesn't have to be in the weekend. It has to be, it could be during the week. But yeah, before we go, if you want me to showcase you here, hey, I don't mind at all. So let's see here. Sean's RC Adventure says, "Thanks, man. I was only driving 2 today at the event." Oh, see? So he was pretty much feeling, I guess, lazy, and he just drove 2 out of the 3. But this guy drives 3 crawlers at a time. Now, if you're curious of how he does that, if I'm not mistaken, he also has, a how-to vid on how he did it. So yeah. And then, so right now, apparently he's in Ohio crawling. Oh, hey, man, cool. Sweet. No one says, I'm not buying anything till I see the Black Friday deals. And that's pretty smart, man. I gotta say, I would want to see that. What if which I don't think will happen, right? But what if the Losi Super Baja rate, goes on special? Right now, I think on their website, Horizon Hobby, that truck is actually listed at $899. Jesus, it's pretty pricey. But hey, Black Friday's right around the corner. What if you see that vehicle like at $699? Would you guys pull the trigger? you know. AC Froggies RC and more says, just going to set Oh, I'm sorry. Just going to get electronics in the D5 to finish the new body. I guess maybe that's the kit that he's building. Maybe. Oh, look at this. Oh boy. So RCU next Tuesday. Also, great channel, awesome content. So they're saying we're getting the new Losi Super Bahare 2.0. Can't wait. Actually, I'm excited, man. If you guys are getting it, oh yeah, I'll definitely tune in. So the first review that I did see, it was pretty cool. It was RC Driver Online. He went full detail on it, and yeah, man, that thing by the end of the day, it's really amazing. So yeah, so looking forward to that, man. So yeah, so AC Froggie, so yeah, he says the new drift kit. So he says yes. Um, oh, look at that. So RCU next Tuesday says I bought the original Super Baja Ray for $400. It easily paid double for the new one. It's fantastic. And yeah, and that's what I was, saying earlier. That the first gen was just so basic, so generic that I just say, you know what, this is just a simple truck. Even though, you know, performance, durability, quality, everything was all there. Looks wasn't there. To me it was just like a really plain truck. And if I remember correctly, when the first Super Bahare came out, is when the Traxxas UDR also came out. So, and I did see a couple channels, and I think even A Main Hobbies, if I'm not mistaken, A Main Hobbies, the channel here on YouTube, they actually did review and they did a comparison of the first gen Losi Bahare, Super Bahare, sorry, and the Traxxas UDR. So actually, that was a pretty cool video to see. When those two vehicles were brand new on the market. But then again, they're totally different vehicles, even though they are both trophy trucks, scale trucks, whatever you want to call them. But if you want to bash, the Losi Super Bahare. If you just want something, scale, that you got to be really careful, and Traxxas UDR. I mean, that's just my standpoint on the UDR and the Super Bahare. So, but now the 2.0. Now this is where it gets more interesting. So if you guys have the Traxxas UDR and the new, which I know you guys are getting, that would be a really great comparison. So we can actually see, where Traxxas has come off, with the UDR and the new 2.0 Super Bahare. And the Super Bahare actually got a huge uplift. That thing looks gorgeous. So I'll see you next Tuesday says it jumps like crazy and strong as hell. We both had both, and the CBR definitely a better basher seat, and that's yeah. So I do own the Arma Mojave and the Traxxas UDR, and that's where I stand too. I usually, if I want to go bash, Mojave is it. If I just want to do a few jumps here and there, taking it easy, UDR. That's where I go. So no one says, I just don't understand why some low-C parts prices are so high. The Super Bahare cab section on Pinion is around 80 bucks. Well, I'll here's my take on that. So low C, if you break something on a low C, yes, I will admit that the parts, they're actually pricey. They're actually up there. But I'll tell you this, man. I do own many low C platforms, and there has been so little damage on them that I hardly have to replace a part on them. And I'll explain even furthermore. So if you guys don't know, I do own the Losi LST, the XXL2. Um, that truck, I know I've showcased it on my channel maybe a few times, but technically I bashed it like there's no tomorrow, man. And till this day, that truck is still in one piece, and by far I haven't had to replace a single part. Mainly because I mean I don't know, I actually went to town with that thing, just pretty much sending it off ramps, bashing it. There was this one time that one of my friends, he actually took out his, I think it was a HPI Savage, and we went head to head. Okay, and I actually broke his Savage. Okay, and my LST was just in one piece. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you break a Losi part, it's because you really, really push it to its limit. And I mean, in perspective of why Losi sells them so expensive, or maybe because of the quality, since they should be durable. And I know if you're looking for a part, it's because most likely you broke it. Um, but that's just my take. I've never had an issue, with a Losi, and especially with a Losi vehicle that I would have to be replacing parts, over and over and over again. So, but yeah, I mean that's just my take. That's just my opinion. And look, and even if I have to maybe name you a few vehicles by Losi that I own. So I do own the Losi Mini 8, the Losi 8E, the Losi LST XXL2, the Losi Triple X SEB, the Losi 10 SEBE, Losi 10 SCTE. What else? The Losi, what do you call it? The Losi Tenacity DB Pro, the Losi Laser Nut, and I gotta say, man, quite frankly, I've bashed all of those heavily. And if you ask me if I ever replaced a part, nah, man. Those things are tough as nails. But then again, if you do send it, if you send it super high or what have you, if you tend to break something, I do understand where you're coming from. Your downtime, if you break something on the Losi, the downtime on that, if you go to your local hobby shop, most likely the parts are not there. If you look at them online, most likely they're not even in stock. So downtime on that vehicle, yeah, it's up there. Probably last maybe like a month. You know, having your Losi just there as a paperweight. You know, so yeah. You know. Ooh, so CCXRC is asking RCU next Tuesday, what color did you get on the Super Bahare? And RCU next Tuesday replied, says, we'll get in wherever it gets to us first. I prefer the yellow, but not to worry. Actually, I like the blue one. I think the blue one, it's sponsored by, was it King Shocks? And then the yellow one is just pretty much the generic brand. So no one is asking how much is a laser knot body. Honestly, man, since it's a Losi brand, I don't even want to know, but I'm sure it's up there. Okay. And if I can relate with a body, times that I've been in the market for a body is for a Glamisphere, made by Vatera. And just the panels themselves, okay. And even before, I know most of you guys know what happened to Vatera. Most of you guys, what happened to Vatera, and since it's been discontinued, I've seen those prices even skyrocketed, man. I've seen those freaking bodies go over $100 now. I'm like, really? Holy crap, you know? So technically, if you break a body from a Losi laser nut, oh boy, you know, I'll tell you this: if you break it, most likely we're like, oh, this is gonna be pricey, you know. So, okay. CCXRC says it's not generic, it's Brenthal. The one in the video, it is modeled after. Okay, oh, sorry. Um, RC next Tuesday says in the UK it's just as hard to get a new arm. Oh, I bet, especially over there. And they're referring also, you know, the parts. So yeah, man, you know, and look, I know I talked about this before. You know, when you get a Horizon hobby product, you know, and just to name a few brands, they'll see, you know, I will name Botera because I'm very, very highly affected with Botera. So Losi, Botera, Dromeda, uh, gee, I mean, well, yeah, those three brands. When years pass, you know, years go by, you're more vulnerable of not finding parts, you know, from that particular vehicle. Okay, and I'll give you an example. See, the Losi LST XXL2. I did check to see, you know, parts availability, and there are some parts that are now discontinued. So that's what Losi, especially, you know, that's what happens. You know, they only model or they only stock, you know, several parts of just that certain model, and they just, you know, decide, hey, all right, well, let's just discontinue this damn part. Well, guess what? You know, the people that actually still use those vehicles, if you break that, guess what? You know, that will become a paperweight. Okay. And now I did mention Batera. Okay. I do own many vehicles from Batera. And one of them is the Glamisphere. Another one is a Twin Hammers. Another one is the Batera Sender. Now, if you do look online, there are still parts available. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but there are a few major parts that are discontinued. So to me, you know, that's bad. You know, that's something that's like, oh, well, what's gonna become of this vehicle? You know, you pay so much for these vehicles, and you know, pretty much the freaking brand is not gonna back you up. You know, as far as parts go. And see, that's why I also brought in Traxxas, you know, into the conversation, because the cool thing about Traxxas is that their lineup hasn't really changed much. You know, their vehicles have been the same for many, many, many years. And if you break something right there and then, you can even find that part at your local hobby shop the same day. You don't even have to look at it online. Why? Because if you go to your local hobby shop, most likely it's sitting there. You know, so yeah. I mean, I wish Horizon Hobby wouldn't discontinue their vehicles very fast, but I'm not saying that they're discontinuing them, you know, from the next year or so. But you know, usually when they do discontinue something, you know, pretty much it's 5 years prior. But you know, I do own older models that they are gonna become paperweights. You know, but the cool thing about me is that I've always maintained. You know, I've always been, you know, adamant about if I break something, I fix it right there and then. So that's something about me. But yeah, man, you know, by the end of the day, Losi is a good brand. But if you break something, ah, yeah, good luck on that. Sean Sarcia Adventure says that's because according to You're a basher boy who doesn't bash hard enough. Yes, I do. Come on. And you know what? I guess and look, I've been using my Traxxas Rustler more, and actually I've been having a blast with that. But I'll make sure I'll make a freaking a badass bashing video just for you guys. No one says that Vatera Camaro Cup was so cool. That's right. Yeah, so Vatera did the on road, and the thing is they're still around. It's the V100. That's the chassis, made by Vatera. So the on roads are still around. But yeah, and like even when Vatera began, like in 2011, 2012, around there, one of the vehicles that I really wish I would have gotten, uh, Vatera actually made a Nissan Silvia V100, and oh man, that car looked gorgeous. So I really wish I would have just bought it, but eh, I didn't know that Vatera was no longer going to be a company, you know, many years later. But overall, man, their on roads, they're they look really awesome. I do own the what is it, the '68 Mustang. That one kind of mimics the Mustang from the movie Bullet. Mr. Steve McQueen himself, driving the iconic '68 Ford Mustang. And actually, that's another reason why I bought it, because of that iconic movie. And that's the only that's the only on-road vehicle that I own on-road from Matera. I do own an HPI, a Sprint 2, but and seeing that's another thing, also HPI, man. Who knows what's going on with them? You know, Even their parts, they're also hard to get. And even though they do have an updated, RC lineup, it's hard to find parts, especially from an HPI. So, so yeah, man. It's one of those things, man, that if you really want to bash, sorry to say, man, but Traxxas is the way to go. Yeah, you can bash a Losi, yes, you can bash an Arma, but you don't know what the future is going to be, for that particular company. And now the reason why I say it like that is because never did I ever see the day that, Horizon Hobby decided, just to let go of Otero. And even if you see their lineup, when they first started, it was just amazing. The innovation was there, the quality was there. They did have, some issues, but then again, they were easy to fix. Until 2015, 2016, maybe because of the lawsuits that they had, or maybe because they just didn't really want to. I mean, I don't know. That's for them, to actually, and they took that decision, of course, of just quitting on Vatera. And to me, I'm very heartfelt, that they actually did that. But look, I'm a true proud owner of Vatera vehicles, and I do have, and I'm very proud, actually. Not that I do have, but I'm very proud of actually saying this. But when Vatera was dependable, okay, when Vatera was actually dependable back in the day, I had a blast with their vehicles, with their product. Okay. And I'm not going to mention which vehicle it is, right? Because most of you guys um, which vehicle it is. But, oh man, amazing vehicles. That was my Traxxas back in the day. But unfortunately, I'll see you next Tuesday. Traxxas 100% best part reliability. And not also that, okay, they're actually backed by an aftermarket brand, which is RPM. They're backed, by hot racing, even aftermarket companies, they're backed by Traxxas. So yeah, man, that's one of the things, man, that if you guys like to bash and you really, really want to give your vehicles hell, you better choose wisely, okay? And me, sorry to say, sorry to admit, but yep, I do agree with our see you next Tuesday. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are concluding this live. We are coming to an end to this epic Saturday night live. Hopefully, you guys, enjoyed the show. Hopefully, you guys, if I said something that maybe was something new to you, or if I said something that was cool, hopefully you learned something new today. Because there is a saying, you do learn something new every day. So, and I do go by that, So, learning something new every day, man, that's pretty awesome, pretty epic. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, just want to give you a quick recap what happened on tonight's show. I went ahead and I did a couple shout outs. Shout outs to Barbecue Altered RC, also AC Froggies RC, and more. Also, I did talk about the Kyosho Super Baja Beetle that you see in front of you. I did go, what electronics I had on there, when I built it, why I decided to showcase it tonight. We talked about Arma. We talked about the new Noeys Super Baja Ray. We also talked about if you were in the market for an Arma between a Typhon and a Big Rock, which one would you get? We did go into detail. And of course, we talked a little bit about Spectrum, Traxxas remotes. And lastly, my rant about parts availability with Horizon Hobby, and Traxxas is king when it comes to parts replacements, if you really want to bash your vehicle. So yeah. Also, CCXRC here just joined us. He actually joined us earlier. I did ask him about the Traxxas Haas and the Big Rock, comparison. And I'm sure you will find everything here in the video. All you gotta do is just, if you want to skim through, hopefully, you guys find that enjoyable. So let's see here. I'll see you next Tuesday says, glad I caught you, bro. Nice chatting, everybody. I'll see you next Tuesday. Hey, man, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. RLRC says, great show, Gabe. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Same goes for everyone. Hey, man, likewise. Hopefully your pain goes away, my friend. I would suggest ibuprofen. Noeys FastRC says, hey, fellas, I'm back. What did I miss? Well, the thing is, man, I went on a little small rant, but you can check out the replay. And so, yeah. CCXRC, hey, man, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah. So time now is 2 hours, 23 minutes, 45 seconds in. So we'll leave it at here. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have a rest of your Saturday night live. Hopefully you guys are having a great night. And of course, my shows, I typically come in at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. I decided going a little earlier because I've had a really, really long day. And I just decided to go in early so I can relax after this. And so yeah, I come in every Saturday night, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. If you guys don't want to miss my lives, just go ahead and next to the subscribe button, there is a notification bell. Just go ahead and click the bell, and where it says all, and you will get the notification every time I go live or I post a video, etc., etc. So, that being said, Brendan Tiblin says, "Hey man, really see you here tonight, but yes, take it easy, my friend." Noeys RC says, "Likewise, brother, take care." So yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude RC Saturday night, RC Night Live. So yeah, we'll see you next Saturday. And also, before I leave, don't forget to check out 11 Charlie RC every Monday night, Tuesday nights if I'm not mistaken. It's a CCXRC, Tony, with RC Conspiracy, and also Thursday nights with the Tank RC. Friday nights with Steve OD from the 313, and Saturday nights yours truly. So yeah, we definitely need like a TV guide now, you know. so so yeah. No one says thanks for streaming. Good stuff. Hey man, appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed, chatting with us tonight. And so yeah, I'll go ahead and leave it here, ladies and gentlemen. So RC Bash Boy here. Thanks for watching.